Hello, dear friends. Tonight in Show and Tell, we're going to talk about hide and seek. If you wanted to hide something really, really well, where would you hide it? Usually, the most obvious place is the one that gets completely overlooked. And that is the funniest thing of this game that we're playing here on Earth, because everybody is looking on the outside for their other half, thinking I'm just a woman, I'm just a man, and there's somebody out there to complete me. But actually, what you're looking for is not outside of you, but within. And the reason for that desire is to propel that search and to finally come to that truth and realization that we're masculine and feminine, earthly and cosmic, human and divine, and all these seeming opposites are one. And ultimately, we are source, God, the universe. And although we appear to be separate and separate from the animals and nature, it's all just one vast awakened whole. And this is what the spiritual journey is about, of going through layer after layer of conditioning and forgetfulness, and busting through it, and merging more and more back into oneness. But whereas, like the mystics before, usually man, I have decided, okay, this is the end, and that's where I'm going to stay. And I completely renounce desire. And this is the ultimate thing ever. Now we're remembering, wait a minute, if that's where we came from, and we came down here because we want to actually experience separation and what it is that to be in a body and feel things, and grow from the contrast, why, while I'm in a body, I'm gonna go back and stay in that state of complete enlightenment, nirvana, whatever you want to call it, when that's where I came from? And obviously, there was a reason for me to get this body. So it's kind of funny, isn't it? So now we're remembering that, oh, wait, I came to play, and this body is my avatar. And I'm here to have fun. And as a human, of course, I'm going to experience everything. I'm going to experience the pain and the suffering and the sorrow and the anxiety and the envy and the heartbreak and the jealousy. Uh, but at the same time, I'm going to experience the love and the joy and the beauty and the expansion and the courage and the contrast. And in this same way as in The Wizard of Oz, um, through taking the journey, and you can believe, okay, I'm a coward, but then all of a sudden something happens, your friend is in danger, and you get this courage all of a sudden, and you perform some incredible act. And that's how we discover that we have those qualities. Like something needs to almost kind of, pressure them out of us, like the diamond. And if people run away from pain, if people run away from suffering, hi, person, uh, hi, Sophie. Uh, if people run away, uh, then nothing ever happens. And there's so many people that go for conformity, that go for the safe, secure, predictable life, stay inside the lines, and they're slowly dying, actually, uh, because they're not using their life force. It's suppressed. And that's what happens, with all of these patriarchal wound and religious wound and um, suppression of the feminine and of desire. It's suppressing the life force. But now that we're remembering of, no, we actually need to have desire, and our sexual energy is our life force, and we need to circulate it, and we can pull it up, and instead of it being destructive and stuck into shame, guilt, and fear, we can use it for co-creation, and we can make art, and we can build buildings, and we can come up with creative solutions to make the world a better place. And that's the drive, but this energy needs to be channeled properly. So when the heart is open and the energy can go through the heart and reach the throat, and we can have healthy self-expression and clear communication of ideas and thoughts. And then, third eye open, we can get divine downloads from source. And crown chakra open, we're in tune with the universe. Then we become these antennas and creative vessels. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you can birth things like creative expressions in whichever field and area in life. And that's the thing that we're here to remember. And women are a little bit further ahead because they've been reclaiming their healthy masculine energy. But men now need to understand that uh, yeah, this is a little deep and it's gonna sting, but the whole original sin was major lust projection and lack of containment of male sexual energy. And now that needs to be owned and channeled properly. And there needs to be education for that. How do we meditate? How do we stay present when desire arises? And how do we not objectify women and see them as objects that are here to satisfy our wishes, but instead we connect with the feminine energy inside and learn how to manifest with the masculine and the feminine energy with thought and feeling. And this is the stage of life that we're entering now collectively. And for men, it can be a little bit harder because all of that shame has been placed on women of the last projection. So now they have to actually experience the shame, which actually belongs to them, and the guilt. Um, but again, that's why the feminine energy is needed because it creates that space, like holding space infused with love, diffusing the illusion of who we really are, is one of my poems, of empathy and realizing that all of that was unconsciousness and acting out of conditioning and outdated programs and patterns. And we can forgive ourselves and the people that taught us those things uh, and start fresh by learning how to contain that energy and how to properly use it and not project it on the outside so women can feel safe and everybody can feel safe. And I'm not saying that just men are doing that. I've experienced less projection from women or just, greed and envy and all kinds of things like that that people need to work with and self reflect and realize what is the purpose of those feelings. And that is shows where there is desire and the limitations that stand in the way of the fulfillment of that desire that need to be worked in the psyche. So when we come with this understanding that we both have the masculine and the feminine within, and we've been operating from unconscious patterns and unhealthy expressions of those energies, and when we have more and more examples of healthy expressions, and we start to do the inner work, we actually everybody knows. Uh, Except in order to remember, we need to spend some time by ourselves and really remove ourselves from the environment and more like culture and go into nature and things that are real and natural that have not been conditioned so we can remember and return to our true nature. And that's something that I've been doing for years through my art and just following my intuition and spending more time in nature and with animals and less around people so I could remember this wisdom and communicate it and embody it. Uh, and yeah, more and more people are remembering. And I think it's kind of exciting to know that, oh, I have masculine energy inside of me. I don't have to wait on somebody to say the things that I want to say and write the book and take the credit, for my intuitive wisdom. I can do it myself and I can manifest the things that I want myself, which does not mean to, become completely like hyper independent, but we can be interdependent. And when we own our desire and uh, properly contain it, then we know better that instead of trying to manipulate somebody on the outside to give us those things that we need and enter in unhealthy, toxic bonds and codependent relationships, we send that desire out into the universe. And then I've explained this analogy before, but just like with Uber or Lyft, the person that has the thing that we need and will gratefully give it to us, and it's the closest, will show up first if we trust infinite intelligence, God, source, the universe, instead of trying to come up with the ways and means ourselves. And that's the difference. With feminine energy, things become so much more relaxed and effortless and easy. And we take time to take care of ourselves and rest and listen and pause. And it's not just this go, 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 hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. Gotta make it happen. I gotta put the goal. But it's more like, I'm gonna surrender to source and my higher self, and they know the way, and I know that I'll be guided. And when I feel like intense feeling and really high joy, and I'm pulled towards something a lot, however random it is, I know it will connect. And I'm just gonna keep following that and do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and listen to this and go this place. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, wow, this is my answer. This is the thing. Or somebody calls you and says, hey, do you want to go do this? And we're like, wow, I was just thinking about that. We're like, hey, do you need this? And we're like, oh, wow, how'd you know? I was just needing this. And that is the balanced way of living. And that's why integrating feminine energy is very important for both men and women. And here we're talking about healthy feminine energy. Uh, because it what makes life beautiful and joyful and brighter and more relaxed and kinder and more compassionate and empathetic and loving uh, and natural. And if you want to learn more and practical terms and mm, more about all of that, I wrote 2 books last year: Holy Fire, which is written more about feminine audience, but goes really deep into desire and the suppression of feminine energy in all of us and creativity. And then The Sovereign Man, which is geared more towards male audience and goes deeper into the different wounds and um, distortion of masculine energy and repression of the animal, the feminine in men, and how to properly integrate it and reconnect with feeling and open the heart again, and different practices for integrating erotic energy and developing intuition and reestablishing the connection with source. Thank you everybody for joining the live and enjoy.